Chapter 30. Walking in woods never changed. For Billy, it seemed like it would get easier, as if one night his eyes might somehow adjust more easily, or his footing would become more sure. But it never did. Tonight was no different. The only thing that made it easier was all the flashlights. Even those didn't help much, though. Spread out across the mountainside, the troops did manage one thing. They prevented snakes from being able to avoid people. Normally, snakes felt the vibrations of footsteps and either hid or fled. On this night, one snake tried its best to escape by fleeing to the outside of the line of soldiers. The last person in the line stepped on its tail. It responded by spinning sideways and biting at the searcher's leg. Luckily, its fangs caught in the fabric of the man's pants, where it hung and couldn't release. The man screamed, a true Wilhelm scream, and danced around in circles until someone cut the snake into two equal halves. Then a general commotion ensued when another soldier managed to actually grab a raccoon by the scruff of the neck. Robo convinced them to release the critter. The troops didn't like the explanation that raccoons might actually eat Bigfoot bones. It didn't matter to them. Very few of the soldiers, all but Tyler possibly, thought a Bigfoot was in these mountains, and like a cartoonish Tasmanian devil, the guards scoured the mountains. In fact, fatigue was the only thing that finally calmed the group. The entire squad eventually grew weary of the approaching morning. Billy heard the radio crackle around 4:30 a.m. He must have been dozing lightly, because everything swam around him for a second as he tried to pinpoint the sound. The second time, a voice called on the radio, and before it could be retrieved by someone capable of answering, he heard the excitement more clearly. "Westerly direction. On foot," the voice said. Then his next comment was drowned by the sound of gunshots. "Fall in!" Gerald screamed, and there was a general commotion as all of the troops gathered supplies. Petra had sprung up, so awake she appeared to have never slept. Gable staggered behind the first troops as if someone had drugged him from a cozy bed. Billy followed, as fast as his waking body was able. The troops were no longer marching. They were jogging. Robo straggled at the rear. The radios among them were alive. Apparently, no protocol had been established, and the National Guardsmen drowned out the communication with gunfire. A battle of some sort had erupted. "Coming your way," a voice on the radio said, and almost immediately commanded everyone to hold tight. A collective catching of breath could be heard along with the sounds of the morning creatures. No one moved. Then, in the distance, something crashed through the brush, rumbling down the mountain, away from them. The commotion was followed by more gunshots, and the guard hit the ground, flat on their faces. The researchers did the same, as Billy's worst fears seemed to be materializing right in front of him. Gerald could be heard screaming for ceasefire and trying to relay his position. At least 100 more shots rang out before the hillside grew quiet. The entire group rose and began hiking down the mountain. Billy assessed his own troops, who looked shaken but wide-eyed now and alert, and motioned for them to fall back. "Keep them in sight, but let's stay back a little," Billy said. "Be ready to duck for cover. This is crazy." "What were they shooting at?" Harrison asked no one in particular. No one responded. "Boss?" Robo asked. He was about 50 yards back, and for a split second, Billy thought the man might be collapsing. "You okay, Robes?" Billy asked. "I think you need to see this." The research team went to his side. Billy didn't see it at first. In fact, it blended in with dead leaves. Then he realized what Robo had noticed. 3 large, distinct drops of fresh blood. Only 3. "Footprints, too," Robo said. "Big ones." "Oh my," was the only reply Billy could muster. "They're going in the wrong direction," Robo said. "Let them," Billy said. He looked down into a steep ravine. Somewhere down there, off in the distance of the morning, was a wounded Bigfoot.